about enough.
All right. Phil Behrens is suing Creed. We've got Phil on the phone. Hey, Phil.
All right, hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, so
Pretty good.
Where do you live? Where are we talking to you from?
I'm in Chicago.
Chicago, okay.
This is back in December, and we've been reading about this. So back in December, you went to a Creed show at what venue out there?
It's Allstate Arena, formerly known as Rosemont Horizon.
Oh, sure. Been there many times.
Yep.
And
take us through what happened that night.
Scott came out on stage. Well, first of all, let me tell you that we sat through some 2 performances by opening acts, and we're wondering, when's Creed going to come out? Finally, they come out about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and Scott tried to sing about 2-3 songs and couldn't sing, and he walked right off the stage.
All right, now, but when you say you tried to sing a couple songs, I mean, what was he doing specifically?
Well, it sounded like he was trying to scream into the mic. It sounded like the mic wasn't even working. And then when he did come back out from, when they pushed him back on the stage to continue singing, they threw him back on there soaking wet with no shirt on. And then he decided to lay down on his back and sing to the ceiling.
Well, does he, when he walked out, I mean, did he stumble out? Did he look like he knew where he was?
I don't think he knew where he was. I don't think he even knew that 15 to 18,000 people were watching him.
So he came back soaking wet, like they just poured stuff over him to kind of like wake him up?
Exactly. They looked like they threw him in a shower to try to wake him up.
Well, and also it looks much sexier when he's wet. We all know that.
Let's grease him down again.
We all know that.
Well, so then he just lays on the ground and he's still singing, but he's just laying there.
Yeah, he was laying on he tried to use the microphone to hold himself up, and that wasn't working. So then he sat down and he laid down on his back, and it looked like he was doing snow angels on the stage, and the mic was, away from his mouth, and he's still singing to the ceiling.
What's the rest of the band doing at this point?
They were trying to carry it through. They're still playing their instruments, and I don't know. I think they were very disappointed in Scott. They were embarrassed.
So how long was he on stage? How long was this fiasco from start to finish, the Creed?
Boy, it's hard to say. I want to say maybe half hour, 40 minutes. And
right.
I mean, people were walking out. They were starting to boo him.
I heard like only 3 songs.
And how big of a Creed fan were you going into this?
Oh, a huge Creed fan. Huge.
And, all right, so, you guys left the arena. I don't know, did a guy come on the PA and say, thank you for coming? How did you know it was not happening at that point?
No. Well, what happened was he did sing 2-3 songs, and then they pushed him back on stage, and then he tried singing, his full set, but he couldn't even remember the lyrics to his own songs, and, we were just all disappointed. And, no, they never got on the PA. Instead, they brought in police in riot gear from Rosemont, Illinois, and they were just trying to force them to continue so that corporate America could keep its money.
Did anybody else try and sing in the band, or?
No.
You gotta feel sorry for those guys trying to act like, nothing's going on. The rest of the band members.
Are you saying the police in riot gear tried to force him to get on stage and sing?
No. Instead of canceling the show, just extra police in riot gear were brought in. I don't know if they were brought in way before the concert so that they knew what was going on, or if they were brought in a little bit later. But
at some point, somebody must have said, hey, we're sorry, the show's over, folks. Thanks for coming.
Yep, nobody said that. No,
the band must have been tripped out, though.
Well, how did you know to leave?
Well, it was just over. We just saw
lights came up.
Everybody.
Yeah, the reports that we heard was someone came out on stage and said, the show's over and whatever. You've just experienced rock and roll history or something.
Maybe I left before that.
Yeah, I think somebody did come out and sort of end it quietly.
So at what point did you decide, you know what, I'm taking legal action here?
Well, after that crazy apology came out that they tried to say that we should be happy that we were at one of the most unique concerts of all time.
It was
unique.
It was.
It's only rock and roll was part of that.
Right. It was the most lame statement I've ever seen.
It's insulting. It's insulting to your fans.
Right. Their position was, hey, think of it this way. You can tell your kids you were at a very unique Creed show.
Oh yeah. Wow.
That was their spin. Rather than say we apologize, we'd like to refund your money. Creed did not even honor to make they didn't even think to make up the show.
They tried to make you think you were lucky.
They tried to convince these people that they were lucky.
You just experienced a behind the music in action.
See, for me, a Creed concert cut short would have been lucky. But
now, I've heard Scott's had some problems lately. I think he was in that car accident, and maybe he's taking some medication and maybe he's addicted. I don't know.
So after the statement was put out on their website about how you should feel lucky that you were such a great event, you decided at that point. What went through your head?
Yeah, I was just, I heard about this apology. I got online, I found it online, and I said, that's just, just another example of corporate America being greedy, because I don't think it was Scott's decision to, if it was up to Scott, he's a true artist, and, I hope he steps up to the plate and, acts like the man he preaches to be, and, and turns himself back into his true artistic form and lives up to his fans' expectations.
What are you suing for, monetarily?
Monetarily, it'll be between $2 and $3 million, because even though I'm a Chicago attorney myself, we got another law firm, one of the most powerful law firms up here, Litigation Powerhouse, suing these guys for $2 to $3 million because of all the 15 to 18,500 people that spent money on this concert, the cost of tickets, the price of parking up here in Chicago is $10 a car to park at this arena.
So it's like a class action thing where you're representing everybody, basically.
Yeah.
And Phil, now you said that you don't think Scott had anything to do with how this was handled, but I mean, come on. I mean, even if it wasn't him at first who had anything to do with how this was handled, at this point, seeing how much bad publicity it has brought him, including your lawsuit, don't you think at this point he would have stepped in and offered to refund the money? $2 or $3 million is not a lot of money to this band.
It's not, and we also sued Ticketmaster because they take full responsibility. They claim on their loss on their website, and
what do they have to do with it?
But I don't know. I think Scott's lawyers are twisting and altering his decision to just settle this thing or come back to Chicago and play another concert.
Maybe they are hurting for money. Maybe it is a money thing.
Okay,
yeah.
But you know what? And I think this is great what you are doing. I really stand behind you 1,000% on this because you have explain from your position as a lawyer what has legally happened here. Why you believe you are entitled to a
refund, yes. Well, it's a simple breach of contract action. We paid money to see Creed perform, and we didn't see Creed perform because Scott Stapp was, something was wrong with him that night. We don't know exactly what was wrong with him, but...
Well, wait a minute, sir. There's a lot of unexpected things that happen at concerts. When you buy a ticket to a concert, you know that a lot of weird things happen. Sometimes it's cut short, sometimes...
You still see the band perform. Here, what he did was tantamount to a cancellation. They should have just announced, hey, something's wrong with Scott. He can't perform tonight. You guys are going to have to come back, or don't even let anybody into the stadium.
Well, you saw him perform, counsel.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you call it a performance.
And they don't say on the ticket that you'll get a 90-minute performance. You saw a 10-minute.
Right. We're playing the devil's advocate here.
I agree. Yeah. I have to do that every day as a lawyer. But, when somebody tries to perform and you can't sing into a microphone, that's not a performance. We're not saying that, hey, you should have performed for 90 minutes or 45 minutes. All we're saying is that you should have just sang your songs. He couldn't even remember the lyrics to his own song.
You're saying they did not honor the spirit of the contract.
Exactly.
What I'm shocked about is that you're such a big fan that you're still giving him the benefit of the doubt after all this time.
Yes, because I'm a huge fan, and I've given him the benefit of the doubt. If he wants to come back to Chicago, play another concert, play a couple concerts for free for your fans, and we don't have to make this about money, Scott. If you're listening, I mean, we don't. You come back and let's just get this thing over with, and show us that the lyrics that you put together in your songs that you sing, that's truly heartfelt. That this
you would think that he would do that anyway. Just go do a show.
I mean, you've done 1,000 radio interviews around the country. This story is very well publicized in the music world. You would think it would be worth it for them to buy a little good publicity and just pony up a free concert to the people who got screwed here and admit, hey, sorry, we screwed up. We'll take a mulligan.
That's all. Hey, we drop the lawsuit in a minute, but I think his lawyers want to make some money and fight for a while.
Right. I guess these bands think it's just going to go away. They don't think that there'll be someone like you in the crowd that's going to keep pushing.
Right.
Keep pushing.
I'm not going to go away until we get some kind of
restitution.
We're made whole.
Yeah, I think you think you got a good case?
I think we got a great case. It's a very unique, it's first time probably. We couldn't find too much out there that was like this. And, it's a simple breach of contract. Under law, when you pay for something, you're supposed to get something in return.
It will be interesting to see if it's precedent setting because let's say you win this case. Every fan now who goes to a concert who that, let's say, gets cut short to an hour, or they feel they didn't get their entire money's worth, it now opens up the door.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
a
I agree.
lawsuit.
That's a very good point, and that's called a slippery slope argument. But we're not complaining. We should have seen it. We should have seen a certain concert for a certain amount of time. We're just saying we should have seen the
concert
itself.
You can base it on standards on every concert around the world, though. So I mean, you have a case.
Exactly.
Let us know what happens, Phil. We'll be curious to see how it ends up.
Good luck.
Exactly.
Yeah, good luck. Thank you.
Phil Behrens, who is suing Creed for their lack of performance in Chicago last year.
The best of the Morning X. 99X.
How wrestling really works and how you get the ratings. Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson explain on 83 Weeks.
There's no creative strategy that would allow AEW to execute on the mission of being different than WWE. And if you're not doing anything different, you're either better than, or you're less than, or you're different than. And so far, AEW is less than. There has to be something different. And I don't know what that is, to be honest with you.
83 Weeks on YouTube or wherever you listen.